What's up, guys? This is the Real Quaid here with an ice gym challenge video. Actually, this is not my gym. This is we have a new ice gym leader whose Reddit username is Intolerant Atheist. He took over for Angel, who sort of disappeared. I guess I don't know where he went, but anyway, he didn't have a good access to record it, so I volunteered to take a look at it and give him some commentary of my own, even though this is not my battle. So I've seen it a couple times already. I know what happens. I don't know, I'll give some things of what I would do differently, possibly, if I were in that situation. So this battle is up against killernerd420. I think he's got a number at the end of there. But if we look at the teams here, the ice team, this is, when I first saw this, I wasn't a big fan of the ice team, but seeing it in action, I feel like he went the right way with it, because ice is kind of a lousy defensive type. So he just pretty much went pure offense, which is really the way to go. But Killer Nerd's team, he's got some really interesting Pokemon, like Lantern, Lapras, and Ambipom, ones you don't see typically. So if I were to see his team in the preview, you definitely would expect Ambipom to be out front. Ambipom is the premier fake-out user in the game. With Technician, he's normal, so he gets stab on it, and he has pretty good attack. So whenever you see Ambipom, you just know it's going to be fake-out, and then probably followed quickly by a U-turn into something else. So here we go, get started here. Intolerant goes with his Abomasnow, which is a great idea for the Ice Gym. I might have considered leading with Frostlass, but I like getting the Hail up first. He leaves him in. I don't know if he hadn't seen much Ambipom before, but pretty much whenever you see Ambipom for the first turn, you have to expect a fake out, so I would have immediately switched to Frostlass in this case, which he ends up doing on the second turn. So here comes Frostlass. Ambipom goes for an Acrobatics, which is going to do some okay damage to Frostlass. It's not a terribly good attack. But Frostlass is about half HP, gets restored with leftovers here. Now his Ambipom is going to U-turn into something to take what will probably be a Blizzard from Frostlass here, because now we got the Hail Up Blizzard's going to have perfect accuracy. So he does go to Gengar, which is a pretty good counter to Frostlass, and there's the Blizzard. That's a good bet. I think that's probably what I would have done. I might have gone for a Spikes, but Blizzard is a pretty safe bet. Does pretty good damage to Gengar, so you have to expect a Shadow Ball coming from Gengar, so I would have definitely done this as well. He switches to the Weavile, which is a great switch. It's Weavile just mauls Gengar. He's going to resist the Shadow Ball that's coming from Gengar, and then Weavile outspeeds Gengar. If Weavile is max speed, there's no way Gengar will be faster than it if it's not carrying a Choice Scarf. So Gengar is pretty much screwed. If he stays in, which he does in this case, he's going to take a Pursuit. If he switches out, he'll die for sure, but Weavile's faster than him. There's nothing that Killer Nerd could have really done in this situation. That was a really nice play by Intolerant here. So Killer Nerd goes back for the Ambipom. Again, he leaves his Weavile in. I, again, would have immediately switched to Frostlass. That's a nice thing about having a Ghost, because, I mean, look at how much damage that Fake Out did to Weavile here. And Ambipom doesn't even have Life Orb, like they usually do. If he would have had Life Orb, Weavile would have fallen. But he keeps Weavile in to take the flinch, comes at him with a low kick, does okay damage. Ambipom's not terribly heavy, so it doesn't have a huge base power. But Ambipom does get the U-turn to finish off Weavile here, and he's going to get a free switch in for whatever Pokemon he thinks is going to be best against the remainder of Intolerance team. So he goes for the Dragonite. Not sure if I would agree with that switch, just because he's got an Ice team, so Dragonite's going to be getting maimed by something here. So sure enough, Intolerant goes for the Mamoswine. You can expect a massive Ice Shard. This is going to, even if Dragonite was a multi-scale Dragonite, which I'm not sure if he was or not, I don't remember, it would have been broken anyway because of the hail, and he wasn't carrying leftovers. I think he had a Lumberry. So this Dragonite's just going to fall. Mamoswine's got huge power. So now Killer Nerd goes for the Lantern. And then this is a really interesting play. I don't know if I would have sent out Lantern against a powerful Mamoswine Earthquake like that, but Intolerant goes for a really unique idea, which worked out really well for him. He goes for the Stealth Rocks, which looks kind of like a silly move when you've got a huge Earthquake, but he was able to set up the rocks with Mamoswine. I don't know, Mamoswine might not have been able to finish off Lantern, I'm not sure, but then he goes for the Endeavor with 1 hit point left, which is a great move, because in the hail, Lantern is going to fall to this. It's a really interesting play. It's hard to say whether or not Earthquake would have been a better choice, but I just like the guts of using stuff like that. So, Mamoswine falls, Lantern's going to fall to hail damage, and now Intolerant's got Stealth Rock set up on the other side, which is going to help him out, breaking any sashes out there. So, Intolerant goes for the Darmanitan, which if you guys haven't seen Darmanitan in battle, he hits like a truck. So, Killer Nerd goes for Lapras. Intolerant goes for the U-turn. Honestly, if I had Darmanitan out there, I probably would have just gone for the Flare Blitz. Because you saw, I mean, the U-turn did about 1/3 of Lapras's hit points. But it doesn't have stab, and it doesn't have nearly the power that Flare Blitz does, because Flare Blitz not only is boosted by stab, it's also boosted by sheer force that Darmanitan has. The sheer force Flare Blitz from a Darmanitan is one of the most powerful moves in the game that's out there. He would have easily one-shotted Lapras with it. So, but he goes for the switch for Cloyster. Lapras is he goes for the Toxic on the Darmanitan. I'm assuming he was expecting a switch, which would have been a pretty smart play. But Cloyster goes for the Shell Smash. I think he's pretty safe against Lapras. But Nerd kind of tricks him a little bit here. His Lapras is actually carrying Thunderbolt, which even though Cloyster has restored his defensive stats with the White Herb, Cloyster's special defenses are miserable. So he's going to fall to a Thunderbolt regardless. So a little cheeky little play here from Lapras. Lapras gets the kill. He's going to get some leftovers heal. So it's a little bit over half of its HP. Atheist goes for the Darmanitan again, who's going to come at Lapras with a Flare Blitz. And like I said, I fully expect that this Darmanitan, because it is max attack, probably could have one-shotted Lapras even from full health with a Flare Blitz like that. So he takes the recoil damage. Lapras got some high HP, so it actually took off a decent chunk. But here comes Gyarados. So Gyarados gets hit by the rocks, and he's also going to intimidate Darmanitan here. But this is where you're going to see some of the sheer power that Darmanitan has, because Darmanitan goes right into a Rock Slide, which is super effective. Even though he's been intimidated and his attack is lowered, he's still able to one-shot Gyarados. So, I mean, it's boosted by sheer force, of course, but just Darmanitan's pure power, it works really well on an ice team like this that's so focused on offense. So, we got Ambipom here. I believe this is Nerd's last Pokemon, but again, he goes for the Fake Out. Again, like I said, if you have a Ghost type and somebody sends out Ambipom, you pretty much have to, I would automatically switch to it every time just to take the free Fake Out, and you're not going to do any damage, but Ambipom's HP was so low at that point that he would have fallen to Hail regardless, and Intolerant had enough Pokemon still around that it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So good game to both you guys. You both have some really interesting teams. I look forward to seeing more of them in action. And I will see you guys next time, possibly with a video of my own gym. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.